let's take a look at the most over-engineered combat pants in the world. These are the Gen 3s from UF Pro. Let's go. I'm surprised they actually work. UF Pro pants. I go straight down, reach into my pocket right there. Let's start this off honestly. These pants cost about 300 something freaking bucks. So if you would never spend that much on a pair of pants or even a car, then you might want to click away. We're going to do this video assuming you've got that kind of cash to lay down. I had been watching these combat pants for years, and I do like UF Pro stuff, especially their winter stuff. You can get their winter stuff from Winter Warfare. Good dudes, they'll hook you up. But I never tried their actual combat pants. Now, as you can see, I'm screwing around with one of the knee pads. That is what attracted me, right? So I had seen the infantry dudes in Afghanistan in 2012 running around with the newer infantry combat pants, and I was jealous because I wasn't a grunt then. I didn't get them. So I was like, you know, it would be cool to have some little knee pad inserts for your combat pants. So that's one of the main attractions for me. And then also the pockets. Dear Lord. So I am still finding pockets on these things. Okay, I would count them, but we can't be here all day. So we don't really need to do an overview. I think if you've come to this video, you probably already know a lot about UF Pro pants, and you probably just want to watch somebody talk about your favorite pants. If you don't know about them, I'll put a link down in the description. You can go read about them. But these are tactical pants, okay? And I use that word for a specific purpose. I wouldn't call these combat pants. I wouldn't call them field pants. I have here, as a comparison, the U.S. Army hot weather pants, okay? I would call these combat pants or field pants. And these are probably the best damn surplus pants you can get these days. Wait a couple years, they will be ultra surplus, and they'll be even cheaper. You cannot insert knee pads into them. And really the only change I've made is I took off the useless ankle pockets and I got them sewed on right up here on my thigh. So you can put your phone and other skinnier things in there. But what's cool is you can access your cargo pockets while you're sitting in a vehicle. So that's kind of our frame of reference for these. Now these are the thinnest combat pants you can get. That's actually military issue. They're only about 43% cotton. The rest of it is, you know, your polyamide stuff, synthetic nylon, all the reinforcements nylon. So they basically made the thinnest, lightest pants they could make. That's also as tough as possible. And then they just reinforced certain areas that are most likely going to be torn up. There's no mesh or thin material here in the butt or in the crotch or anything because, yeah, grunts sit down in the field. Go figure. You need reinforcement there. All right, versus these pants, which are 50-50. 50% cotton, 50%, I believe, elastane or polyamide. To me, it's all synthetic. It's all plastic. However, these are probably twice the weight as your hot weather pants, and these are also heavier and thicker than the standard OCP pants, okay? So that's why I'm not going to call these anything but tactical pants. Look at the marketing and look at the people wearing these, all right, if they're doing anything at all. This is something that might be like a raid pant because they're so thick and heavy despite the mesh and trying to make it breathable, these are hot as hell. All right. So I've worn these in winter. I've worn them in fall, worn them in spring. Yeah, all seasons. All right. And summer, once you get above about 80-ish degrees, depending on the humidity, these are horrible. Absolutely miserable. So if you're thinking you're a Delta Ranger Seal freaking operator, you're just going to go kick indoors for about 30 minutes and then get the hell out of there, they're great. Anything outside of that in hot weather, you're going to be bumming. All right. Zero breathability. They're hot as hell. Outside the summer months, they're great. All right. So doing a lot of yard work in the springtime, some pretty decent hikes in the fall and, spring, good to go, man. You can actually go out without a chest rig or anything, because you got so many freaking pockets, you just don't run out of room. There is a wind stopper liner that you can get separately, and I did buy that, and that is very cool. So I've actually done some overnighters in the winter with these, and in freezing temps, I would just wear these. I wouldn't need leggings or anything. But I'd get to the campsite or the OP, and I'd put the wind stopper liners in there. Freezing temperatures with just a standard, 30-degree rated sleeping bag, I would sleep fine. So the wind stopper's great, works very well. In the morning, when I would break down camp and then hike back out, you got to take those off. They say the wind stoppers are breathable. They are not. If you want to throw your 30-round mags down in these bigger cargo pockets, that'll work, but they're going to be moving around a little bit. They've got these little kind of loops that are Velcroed in, and they're stiff. All right, so I would use this for throwing my phone down in there. You can adjust this. It's Velcro. So you can move it up or down to fit like a 30-round mag or something that size. The belt system is actually pretty cool because, I'm usually wearing these heavy-duty buckled pants. Pretty effective, and it's very comfortable. The only downside of this, in my opinion, is you can't remove it. Okay, so what if you've got your pants full and you actually want some kind of rigid belt? Maybe you're hanging stuff off of your belt, okay? Well, you can't remove theirs. You can put a belt over it, and they do have a lot of Velcro on the outside. So like for your friggin' range belts, combat belts that Velcro onto stuff, it's got plenty of catch points to attach to your pants. But I wish you could remove their belt. That would be a great option. So very over-engineered pants, except for that one feature. You see on the back here, you've got kind of this jelly feeling like pad, and it sticks up almost to your lower back. All right, so that gives you kind of some support, so your pants aren't sagging back there. You've got a little bit of padding for your lower back. Here on the front, you've got a button closure and a small little buckle, kind of metal buckle, and that just gives you extra retention. Now, my problem, I've noticed this with all European pants that I've tried. The zipper. Look how short that zipper is, all right? That's probably a 4-inch opening for the fly. That's ridiculous, all right? So most of us, when we're out in the field and stuff and we got weighted down pants, we pull our pants up to almost around our belly button. You want everything to be high up, all right? And that may depend on where the crotch is in the pants because you don't want to be bunching stuff up in there. But I've noticed with these, the way the waist belt and everything is designed, it feels the best pulled up high. However, the crotch is so damn small, it does start to kind of bunch things up. And then once I have my pants up to where I think it's a proper fit, to try to pee out of these things, I mean, dude, you got to be looping your shit around there, and end up peeing on yourself. I don't understand that with the European pants. They always have very small crotches and small freaking fly openings. I'm not making any judgments. That's just my observation. So you got back pockets, which most of us don't really use in pants like this. It is nice to have, this elastic material in the back to where you do have some breathability, but that's the number one feature that tells you these are not like field grunt pants, all right? Sometimes we hit hills and ridges where you're not walking down them, you're sliding down them, all right? So you're sliding over rocks, broken branches, petrified freaking stuff, and these will get eaten up, okay? 100%. So that's why I say these are kind of like combat tactical pants. They're not field pants. Also, they're so thick and not breathable. I do like how you have different access to your cargo pockets, so you can do top down, you can come in from the side, and then somewhere in here, yeah, so you got a pocket here, and you've got mesh here that's trying to give you breathability where all these pockets are. But I'll tell you what, guys, the more pockets and reinforcement and stuff you have on pants, that's more material touching your skin. So mesh or not, just because of this really thick outer part of this pocket, you get a lot of sweat there. You do have access to be able to pull up or down where your knee pads sit, and that's very cool. So you can adjust the height of your knee pad. That is important, because when I first put them on, they hung down to below my knee, and even when the pants would slide up, when I would take a knee, they would sit down there below my knee. That's a no-go. So you adjust them and you're good to go. Another reason I'll tell you these are not field pants is you can open them down at the bottom. You can do what we call bell bottoms. So they kind of splay out. This should probably be mesh to give you more breathability, but you know, you're supposed to be able to get more airflow with them. That does not work though, because they're just so thick, it doesn't happen. And then this retention system. So for some reason, the tactical guys don't like their pants riding up. So this is designed to put down on your boot lace, right about the top of your foot, and it keeps your pants from riding up. Okay, that's cool if you like that. But then, because that's there, you're not tucking these into your boots, what we call blousing. Okay, well in the field in the summer, you've got ticks, snakes, freaking bugs, all kinds of crap that will be crawling up your pants. So a good grunt, soon as we're in springtime and after, you are blousing your boots. So you're not having crap crawling up your pants. Okay, so you could cut this off if you want to buy $300 pants and cut this zipper and this little buckle off. Okay, sure, but probably wouldn't buy these pants for that reason in the first place. Because if you try to blouse your pants with that zipper and this on there, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. And then of course you got an ankle pocket. Everybody loves their ankle pockets, except I've never seen grunts use them. The only time I've seen grunts use these is to put cigarettes in them and garrison. But anytime in the field, you might walk through water. You don't want that crap getting wet or messed up. Your ankles hit things in vehicles and in buildings. So basically anything you're going to put in there is going to be smashed anyway. So if I was willing to tailor a $300 pair of pants, I would cut this whole pocket off. And then that gets rid of extra material and might improve the breathability. Okay, so let's talk about the knee pads. So, like all these top-of-the-line things, the knee pads, you got to buy them separately. I think that's bullshit. I think when you spend that much money for pants, everything should be included. But shame on me for thinking that. At least these pants are actually made in Europe. They're not outsourced to a third world country, but charging you with a European price yet. Everybody seems to follow Fjallraven, so that's probably coming. All right, so you can buy these as a package deal with your harder shell knee pads and these giant foam ones, you know, or you can just buy whatever pair you wish to use. Now here's kind of a cool feature. You can just put these in your pants, or you can just put these in your pants. Or if you know that you're going to wear them together, you can slide this one right down in there, and you slide them all in there together. And now you've got both of them together. Or if you start with these, because that's how I usually go out, just these, minimalist, but a little bit of protection on my kneecaps. If you just start with these, and then later on you're like, oh, well, we're going to be doing some concrete work and a lot of kneeling, so we need the full thing. Instead of having to remove the small ones first and then insert them, you can just throw these in. They have their own pocket. And vice versa. You can start with these in their own pocket, and later on you can add these. That's pretty cool, you know. So you can see where a lot of the thought came into these pants, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this is usually how I would start. I just want the hard protection. All right, so you got this pocket here. Throw your harder knee pad in there. They're pretty easy to work with. The material feels tough enough to where you're not going to destroy these screwing with them all the time. We'll see. Mine have lasted over a year so far. And you Velcro that down. And now you've got your, at least some kind of impact protection for your knees. Okay. And then let's say, I know I've got some rougher stuff on harder terrain or whatever, concrete work, kneeling down, doing carpentry shit. I want the full protection. Well, that's what this pocket's for. So we open this one up. Still got mud caked in these. By the way, I have done a couple obstacle runs with these, and they were not destroyed. That's usually where I destroy pants. All right, so you've got mesh up in here to try to improve breathability. It doesn't really help. I still sweat my butt off there. And then this has got mesh all around it. So they're trying to give you some airflow. It's just so much material. You know, I guess it's better than nothing. But so you can slide those down in there, get them in pretty easily. You're not gonna break them. They're not all flimsy and gonna get destroyed. And so, these zippers have tiny teeth, like unbelievably small. So the mud, when I did these obstacle runs, yeah, it totally affected them. But, you know, ran them through the pressure washer, got most of the mud out, and we were okay. They're still good to go. So now we got both knee pads in there. We have maximum protection. All right, let me just throw some truth out there for you guys. So you're not falling down on concrete or banging your knees against vehicles or anything rough with these. This is like super minimal protection, all right? So I would take knees in the woods. That's great. If I accidentally knelt down on a rock or, you know, a petrified tree branch or something, this, you still feel it. This one by itself is a little bit better for, you know, stabby things, sharp rocks, petrified stuff. Banging it against vehicles, you just don't have the coverage. So this is kind of just like a small little kneecap protector. Putting them together still will not even come close to the hard shell, big old clunky freaking knee pads that we got. Okay, so you might have seen pictures of the GWAT guys, you know, especially in the summer. We get issued these. We almost never wear the elbow pads unless we're clearly going into heavy duty mount stuff. And we would usually only wear one knee pad, and it would be whatever knee we like to take a knee on. We're generally not kneeling down with both knees. It's generally the same one every single time. For me, it was always my right knee. So I'd usually always had this on my right knee. If we were doing a lot of movement and not, you know, engaging stuff, most of us would turn it to the side and drop it down the side of our leg, and it would just hang down there at the bottom of our freaking leg. And then, you know, if we had some contact coming up, contact was expected, you know, or we were already in a fight and we had time and thought about it, well, then we would pull it up real quick, and now we at least got some protection. Okay, so the bottom line is both of these together, they're not even going to come close to the protection of this. So something to think about. All right, so if you're thinking about pants like this for raids, kicking indoors, doing your Delta Ranger SEAL crap, you know, cool guy stuff, and it's heavy duty mount, well, these are still going to serve you better. Something to think about. I almost forgot the most important thing I talk about: rucking. You are not rucking in the hot weather in these. Absolutely not. I mean, you can, but for the people who yell at me for doing movement in jeans, yeah, this is like twice as bad. All right, especially in the summer. You're going to feel just, it's horrible, the sweat buildup. All right, so something to keep in mind. You're not doing movements to contact in these. You're not rucking in them, and the fighting you're going to do in them is going to be short-lived, at least for the warm months. All right, so I'll say that again because I know people don't like to listen. Outside of the summer, these pants are pretty comfortable. Okay, but you know, for me, I'm always in either a very hot, sunny environment or a humid, hot environment. So that means for about 6 months out of the year, pants are a no-go. So, you know, I think that's it, guys. Would I pay this much money for a pair of pants? Absolutely not. The amount of pockets is really cool. The knee pad options is very cool. The belt system, this little pad back here on the back is great. You know, there's some really good design features to these pants. You can pretty much go out in a fighting load without having anything on you, all right? I mean, and that's gonna get heavy. You're definitely gonna notice the weight of your belt, but you know, it's an option. Like when I'm doing yard work and I don't want to put on a tool belt or carry my freaking doomsday chest rig, I could just start throwing tools in all these pockets. You know, I'm pretty sure I got knives stuffed down somewhere in here. The wind stopper pants that you get extra, that you pay for, are very cool, man. They work, they keep you warm, but they ain't breathable. You're not doing long movements in those. You're definitely not doing any fighting in them, unless it's well below freezing. So overall, I can only suggest these pants if between the pants, the wind stopper, and their knee pads, if you've got about 400, 500 bucks to throw down on some cool guy pants, you know, go for it. But for us broke grunts and people just looking for pants to work around in, you know, you see I'm wearing jeans. That's what I'm working in today. And I'm totally cool with that. So we've also got all of our surplus pants. You know, I got all my BDU woodland stuff, desert freaking camis, and guys, ammo is expensive. I'll just put it that way. Ammo is expensive. And the way I see it, you know, I think all this stuff kind of caught on because of the airsoft, soft friggin' Instagram videos and stuff. But you know, those guys are issued those pants. Those pants are given to them. For the average grunt who just needs some pants to go out there and freaking work around in and do their thing, you know, I gotta pass. Okay, but again, if you got that money to throw down, then yeah, they're pretty cool. They're an interesting set of gear.